Hey everyone, Denieve here, and today I am sharing with you my process for the upcoming NaNoWriMo, which is National Writers Month, and that happens in November, the 1st of November to the 30th, 30 days or so. Yeah, 30th November, and at the end of it you have a completed novel at 50,000 words. That is the word limit. Obviously you can do more, but definitely not less. Also, I would love to invite anyone from Jamaica, especially the Caribbean in a wider sense, who is participating in NaNoWriMo, to give me a heads up and let me know what you are doing, because the last time I entered, which was last year, I didn't see that many Caribbean writers in the community, so I am taking it right now to invite you, and probably we can be writing buddies, which would be super cool. So before the last post I made was what am I doing in terms of how do I structure novels and just my process. I set deadlines, so that helps, and last week's deadline, which was for October 13th to 18th, and I pretty much did 2 things out of the 3 things that I said I would do, started and in the ending process of finishing all the plots and creating backgrounds and development for characters. This is partly because I just wasn't in the mood to do too much writing. It happens. And no, this week my goals that I have for the 19th of October to the 25th it's on my whiteboard, so that's why I'm reading, is world building, which entails where do my characters live, what are the physics of this world that they live in, and politics obviously of this world that they live in, what makes this time or world that they live in particularly unique, where does the story take place though, and the main character's involvement in this world, in the hierarchy of the world, whatever. I haven't really started, and this is me being super honest with you, I haven't started anything on world building, and sometime today I decided to just do both the backstory character and the development of the world that they're living in simultaneously, partly because I set myself this deadline and I want to continue on it, and just going back and forth would not be, I don't know, just don't feel like it. It happens. So in terms of where I want to be in the process of backgrounds and plot development is I have yet to say who are the characters going to be in the story. That is to say, who are they at the beginning of the story and who they will develop into at the end of it. I have a vague idea of what I want them to go through and how I see them growing, but right now I have nothing concrete on this is the process kind of situation, so there is that. I have yet to determine the mood of the story, what's going on, how I going to develop the mood, and I haven't written down, and me thinking that if you don't write it down, it just isn't set in stone. So I haven't written down what point of view I will be writing from. There is this part of me that want to it's kind of going back and forth in terms of point of view, and for me that is completely okay. Is nothing groundbreaking. There are novels that slip back and forth through point of view, so you know, that is just where it's at. What I have decided is to use, I'd say, correspondence in this novel. I find that I do this a lot in my writing because I usually start from a poem and then it turns into prose, and this is just my style of writing. It just is. So there's that, and I decided to use the poetry aspect of it to be the character's internal dialogue, and everything else to be, you know, what happens, everything else that moves the story along. Yeah, as regard to the correspondence in the novel, whereas my characters will be sending texts and emails, and that is how you get an understanding of certain, I guess, backstory, and where necessary, obviously. And yeah, so that's where it's at. The plot isn't, it's all over the place, to be really honest with you, because, and probably that is just me not deciding fully what the story is yet, and it feels like more than one story, and that has to do with me making better decisions in terms of what my characters are doing and how they proceed. And yeah, that is where it's at. So yeah, what they want. And oh yeah, I haven't and this is important, I think also that this is the reason why my story is not in a place that brings me joy is possibly because I have not determined who my antagonist is, and that is super important in a story. Right now I have my protagonist going between themselves and their environment, and that is fine, and there are many good stories that run along that kind of conflict, but at this particular time I think my protagonist needs an antagonist, and that might be why it is where it is. And I think that would be it in terms of what it is that I'm doing for this year. There are still questions that I haven't answered yet, and like I said, what will be done this week is just answering the questions. What does the antagonist want? Who will make sacrifices for my character? And this is a questionnaire for your plot development that I got from goteenwriters.com. I think what would be really beneficial for everybody is if I made a link of where I find my resources down below. It might serve you, it might not, it just whatever. If it does, tell me. But in the upcoming post I will be more mindful of where I take information from and posting it in the description box below. So that's it for now. I hope you are having a better time at your NaNoWriMo process than I am right now. It does get better, and especially at the end of November when you actually have a super awesome novel, then yeah, it will be worth it. I will keep you posted, and I will figure out where all these characters fit in and who they are, and I hope you are having better luck. And if you are, or if you aren't, just give us your opinions in the comments below. Tell us where you are, tell us what you are doing in terms of, are you plotting or are you just going to just go with the flow and write? It would be beneficial. And like I said, if you need a writing buddy, then by all means leave information in the comments below, and then we can figure it out. Okay, have a great day, night, afternoon, evening, depending on when you see this, and love and peace.